Hi there, I want to congratulate you on taking action and requesting this free video and assessment tool that has to do with the number one secret that will help you take action, experience happiness, and make you stop doubting yourself. Now, where does doubt come from? And how do you actually start to take action? Many people will ask these types of questions, especially when they're going through a negative thought cycle or when their subconscious mind has been inundated with a lot of negativity or negative thought patterns, right? The reason why people are not, or you are not able to take action and see the results that you want to see is because there's something that's going on deep within your mind that is stopping you from believing that the action that you're going to take is going to make a difference to you. And I used to suffer from this, and there are so many other people who have suffered from this as well. I mean, I was an engineer who was not fulfilled. I was totally down in the dumps because every day I had to go to work. It was Monday morning or Sunday night, and I was dreading it. And I was like, oh man, I just don't want to go to work because I'm not finding the fulfillment or the excitement in what I'm doing at work. And there's so many better things that I could be doing with my time. I'm sure, how many of you have ever felt that way? I felt that way for about 10 years in my career. And it was so tough for me to actually do something about it, to take action. On an extracurricular level, I was doing all sorts of other stuff. I mean, I was doing leadership development training for youth and for adults and personal development work. I was part of executive boards and I was doing some great things there. But I mean, that bulk of time from 8 hours every single day, it was just draining me because I wasn't where I thought I needed to be. But I had to do it for work. I had my responsibilities and, I had to put food on the table. So eventually, with this thought in my mind, I had some people that were around me that urged me to try and start my own business, to try and do other things or try and involve myself in maybe going back to school and doing social work, a degree or something of that nature so I can get more into helping others. But all of that seemed to be such a mountain, such a difficult thing for me to take action on or move forward to. I just didn't know what the answer was, so I kind of just stayed where I was. And I believed deep down inside of me that I wouldn't ever experience that fulfillment that I was looking for or that happiness that I was looking for, So it started really weighing down on me until one day I took a program where I had to look deep inside and figure out what was it that made me happy and what were the different aspects of my life that made me happy. Where were those times? What were those specific situations? And while going through that, I really realized that, I really appreciate and love connection with people, helping people develop, sharing my own insights and what I've learned from life with other people, because I've had a successful life, even though internally I haven't been very happy. And connecting with nature. And through these things, I realized more and more that I really need to figure out how to experience life in a better way, because this is no way to live, right? And I came across a program and I had somebody work with me to change my mind framing, because what was going on inside of my subconscious mind was that I didn't have the ability, or I wasn't the person who could build a business or take action, build a project, do something to change my life, really. And it was all in my own mind, because when I reached out to other people and started asking them, how do you see me? How do these other people see me? I became conscious of the fact that everybody saw me in the light that I wished to be seen, which was as a leader, as somebody who was very competent and able to speak in public and basically had the confidence to do anything that I really wanted to do. It was just me. I was the only one inside of my own mind that was holding myself back from experiencing what I wanted to experience. So I started off with the process then of learning to say no to all those things that are not serving me, and instead saying yes to me and bringing more into my life that will give me the opportunity to experience more happiness, more gratitude, and become happier with who I am in general, right? So all of this has to do with the subconscious mind. We know consciously what's going on in front of us, but deep down in our subconscious mind, which is made up of our innate abilities, our innate tendencies, the personality that we've been brought into this world with, but then also our influences, who we hang around with, the television shows, the music, all those sort of things. And then most importantly, what we tell our own selves. That's our biggest influence, right? And our subconscious mind deep down ends up being what we end up telling ourselves over and over again. So whether we can or we can't do something, we're absolutely right. It's true. Because if we don't believe we can do it inside, we will never take the action and the initiative to do it. So this training of the secret that will help you take action, right? Experience happiness, and to stop doubting yourself, all comes down to the subconscious mind. And I'm going to tell you more about that right now while I switch to my computer. As I said, your mind is a very powerful mind, right? And you have your conscious mind, and your conscious mind is your thinking mind. It's your educational mind, right? This is where your logic comes from and your intellect, right? And basically your faculty of reason is here in your conscious mind, right? But then you have your subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind, it's made up of a number of things, but at the very basic level, it's your paradigm holder. It cannot tell the difference between right and wrong, because X person might think that they're right and Y person might think that they're right, and neither of them might actually be right, but it's just what they believe to be true based on their subconscious mind, right? Two different people might have had the same upbringing and the same experiences in life. However, one person believes that they have the ability to make millions of dollars, and the other one has this belief in them that they're just going to stay exactly where they are forever. And the difference between these two is the paradigm that they have in themselves, how they believe their own abilities are, whether it's right or wrong, right? And this is where the saying comes, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Right? So this subconscious mind does not have the ability to differentiate right from wrong, right? It does not reject or accept something. It's just the paradigm holder. So I want you to think about scales in your mind, okay? You've got these weighing scales, and in some scales they're good and some scales are bad, right? So for example, let's take the example of public speaking and confidence, right? If you haven't done very much public speaking in your life and somebody asks you to just say a few words impromptu on the spot, how would you feel? You'd probably be pretty scared, frightened. And if you were to actually go up there, you'd be shaking and worried that you're going to lose your train of thought while you're up there and just freeze, right? Somebody else who does not think as much about what other people might think of them or how they look, say, okay, well, what needs to be done? And they just look at the list of, okay, I need to say this, this, this. And they might go up there if they've never had any negative experiences in speaking, and might go up there and just be fine and say what they wanted to say, and they're done. And the difference between these two people is just their paradigm. For one person, for example, who, in school, they didn't do very well when it came to public speaking. And they used to give speeches, but each time they just blank out and it would never work for them. That person, it would be so much more difficult, and they deny and reject the idea of going and speaking in front of anybody else, even though they have the same ability as another person who has spoken many times in their life. Let's look at another example. You look at math. Once I had a teacher who told me that, I'm not good at math. And my scale tipped in the negative side at that moment, right? The next time I had a test, even though I tried and I studied, while I was studying for it, I felt I just can't get it. I can't get this concept. So my scale tipped further in this direction, right? And then the next time, and then I wrote the actual test. And after writing the test, I got back to, I felt really bad after the test was over. And then when I actually received the results, it tipped even further in that side. So at this point in time, my weighing scale was very heavy on the negative side when it came to math. But then the next year I went for a math class and I had a teacher that was really uplifting, and that teacher actually told me that I was pretty good at math actually, and that I could do these problems pretty well. So that started to make me feel like a little bit more comfortable. So my scale tipped a little bit. And then I ended up studying for a test, and while I was studying, I was getting the answers that were in the back of the book. So the scale started moving forward further on the positive side and lifting up from the negative side. Then I wrote an exam, or I wrote a test on it, and after completing the test, I got an A. And all of a sudden, I was tipped on the other side and positive with math. The next test, same thing happened, and then continued. And before I knew it, I had so much confidence and a belief inside me that I could do math. And when I say paradigm holder, and the subconscious mind is a paradigm holder for us, that's exactly what I mean. What I mean is, it just holds the scale, however far we've reached until that point. So, what does that mean? What that means is, it can change. And what you believe today to be the truth could change tomorrow based on what you feed yourself with. And what do we feed ourselves with most? It's our influences, right? Look around you and think of what are the different influences that you have, whether they're your friends who are closest to you, your co-workers, your bosses, people who in your past have told you something or not, a teacher perhaps that's pumped you up, or another professor who's put you down and made you believe that you just can't do stuff, right? Could be your parents who you currently, not currently, but regularly in your life, heard them say, we can't afford it perhaps, or they're saying you can do anything you want, you just have to figure out how. Each of these things have built your paradigm of today. Further to that, what else do we have? Let's think about the television shows that you watch, or the news and the radio. How positive or negative are these, with all the warmongering and the negative weather reports, for example? Or it could be positive, right? What else has shaped your mind? The music you listen to, movies, whether you're violent or not, based on the movies, the video games, right? All these things have played an effect and are affecting your mind today. But the number one thing that affects your mind the very most is your own self, because you are with yourself all the time. And you have a recording that goes on in your mind all the time. And whether that's I'm going through anxieties, or I'm nervous, or it could be I'm confident, I'm on top of the world, I have the ability to do whatever I want to, I'm smart, I'm intelligent. Or is it that, I'm so overwhelmed and I never have time, and I'm so busy and I'm getting sick and I have another headache? What is it that you're constantly telling yourself? You are your biggest influence, right? And based on what you're telling yourself on a regular basis, your subconscious mind is holding that thought and is attracting more of that thought. So I've spoken now about the thinking mind, the subconscious mind, and how your subconscious mind is the paradigm holder. Now I want to share something else with you about your mind. And this is the powerful tool part. And I want to call this releasing the brakes, because it's so important for us to realize that we've got brakes on and we need to change that into having acceleration in the right direction for us. So if you want to see change in your life, you need to change some of the things that you're doing on a regular basis. The number one thing that you can change for yourself is what you tell yourself and the story that you have for yourself in your life, right? So again, now if we start talking about your life and we say, okay, all these years I believed, and I believe today, that I just can't afford things and there's no money for me to do the things that I really want to do. And I'm going to tell you that there is. You actually have the ability, and there are numerous different ways that you can make money on the side, or get a pay raise, or reduce some of your expenses so that you have more for yourself. And I show you how, then your conscious mind will work with me to start to build and understand how you can make more wealth, right? So your conscious mind will conceptualize X, and X being make more wealth, or figure out a way for things to be affordable for you, the things that you want in your life to be affordable. And you start to figure out with your conscious mind how to make things more affordable by saving more or by making more money. And you think about it, and you think about it, and you're like, okay, I have an idea, I can do this, I'm going to start working on it, and there you go. Now, what happens is, you have a subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind, at this point in time, may be it believes that you don't have money, you can't afford it anyway. And then you might start thinking to yourself, even though your conscious mind is believing that, you conceptualize and you think, oh, if I do this action, I'm going to make more money, or if I do this other action, I'll save some more money, then it's affordable. On your subconscious mind, you're still telling yourself, I can't afford it, I can't afford it, it's not going to happen, it's not going to work. Unless you're changing your story of your subconscious mind. If you change your story of your subconscious mind, then your subconscious mind can shift to resonate with X. So if you're constantly, for example, telling yourself that I'm in the process, I'm on my way to making the money that I want to make so that I can afford what I want, and you constantly tell yourself that, and you allow for your subconscious mind to start to shift in that direction, that, hey, there's the possibility. Actually, I have a great possibility. Actually, I can totally start making this money. And I can see how saving would work. And I can save. How can I save? And your subconscious mind will start to work for you in ways to help you save the money that you want to save. This is what I mean by making the subconscious mind your friend. So you have your conscious mind that's conceptualizing X. And then you have your subconscious mind to shift and resonate with X. And the moment your subconscious mind shifts and resonates with your conscious mind, then you have full belief that the action that you'll take will give you the results that you're after. And with that belief, your body will start to take action. Your body will act to achieve X. And the action causes an X attraction. And then the attraction causes the results. Now, that being said, we hear so many people at the turn of the year join the gym and try to lose weight, right? Or try to get healthy, or go on some kind of diet. And after a few days of trying that new diet, they stop. And the reason they stop is because with the action that they're seeing, their body is acting, they're motivated, and they think that they can make some kind of difference, and their action is causing some kind of attraction. However, the reaction that they're seeing is not causing the result quick enough. And when that happens, people get bored or tired, and they say, I'm doing this work and I don't actually, am I actually going to see any changes? I haven't seen any changes yet. Is it actually going to work? Is it actually going to happen? And what happens is it goes back to the subconscious mind and the belief that's inside that subconscious mind, that paradigm that was there. And that paradigm that was there was that you can't lose weight. It's not going to happen. And if it happens, it's going to be so much work. And you can't do it. You've tried so many things, and so on and so forth. Even though the conscious mind has decided that it wants it, and it's figured out how to do it, the subconscious mind is working against it and not allowing it to happen. Even though at first it starts taking the action, but then it goes back and says, hey, we're not seeing the results. We're not seeing the result because it's not going to happen. So the subconscious mind pushes you right back there. But that being said, we can change, or we can persuade your subconscious mind in a different direction. And I want you to imagine for a second, if you were to continue on in the path that you are currently with your mind, what will your results end up being in life? And on the other hand, I want you to think, what are the possibilities of your results in life if every day you were to wake up with excitement and the feeling, the deep feeling and the confidence inside that you are going to achieve and you're going to see the results and the happiness that you're truly after? What would that do for you? As you move forward through life, you want to be in that second category. And you have the opportunity and the ability to be there. The first step in the journey is becoming conscious of your subconscious, being conscious of the thoughts that you're allowing to come into your mind recurringly, and where that could possibly take you, if it's positive or negative. There is an assessment tool that is part of this free gift that I'm giving right now. Make sure you go through that assessment tool and see where do you stand when it comes to your subconscious mind. And these are items that only you can really assess. Be truthfully honest with yourself and say, you know, if you need to make a change, then you need to make a change. And if you don't, what can happen in the next 10 years, 20 years, based on the beliefs that you tell yourself regularly? And if you feel that there is time for a change and you want to start hacking your subconscious mind, and you want to become that strongest version of yourself who will take action and see the results that you're truly after, then take that action. You'll have the opportunity to do it. Take charge of your mind by releasing your limiting beliefs and fears, and using this marvelous resource that you have to serve you, that subconscious mind to serve you instead of harm you. All right, take care.